You're listening to the world-famous White Roof Radio, webcast number 639, recorded on March 21st, 2018. Tonight brought to you by CravenSpeed.com, MotoringStripes.com, and OutMotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and style. It's OutMotoring.com.
Do it.
Points us. And a 1 and a 2. Hey everybody, it's DB in Arizona with a brand new episode of the world famous White Roof Radio. Gonna have a very fun show for you this week, a little bit different. Todd's out this week. Brian's traveling to a thing, and we're gonna be riding bikes later, so he's not gonna be in, but he might. I'm not sure. But instead, we have Mr. Chad Miller, the good Reverend from Detroit Tune, DetroitTune.com. Chad, say hi.
Hello, back from the dead.
Nice. And we also have Mr. Bridger joining us from motoringfile.com. Gabe.
Hi. Hello. Hi.
See, and we're gonna talk to Gabe about his the BMW junket out to Thermal, and you get to drive a BMW to In-N-Out. Not really, but if you listen to Black Roof Radio, you might have heard about that. We're going to talk about Chad's extreme disappointment in the N14 engines. Extreme disappointment about the N14 engines.
Sounds like there's a real story there, Chad.
Well, if you listen, for those of you who are Patreons, who are members of the Patreon club, you have already heard about Chad's severe disappointment in the N14 engine. We're going to talk more about that.
I'm very interested.
And I had the chance to spend some time in a new 2018 Chevrolet Traverse. No, sorry, Chevrolet Equinox that I was maybe going to talk about briefly, because it was a really nice car. It's my mom's new car. That's really nice. We might talk about that too. We'll see. But we don't really know what's going to happen tonight because Gabe's here and Chad's here and me. So this is an odd configuration. So honestly,
freeform.
It could pretty much go anywhere we want. And all that'll start here in just a minute. I want to remind you guys before we start, like I always do, about our good friends over at outmotoring.com, the Mini Cooper parts and accessory superstore, if you will. If you need something for your Mini, you need something Mini related, you need something for your Aston Martin, outmotoring.com's got you covered. I want you to go over there and check it out. Make sure that you sign up for the newsletter. That way you get your, every month you're going to get your very own coupon code. Save you 5% on your orders. Shipping's usually free on orders over $195. And I'm not kidding when I say everything for your Mini. Outmotoring has everything for your Mini. It's like your internet parts desk, right? You just go to outmotoring.com. Everything, door trim, the body trim panels, the weird hidden fiddly bits, the clips and hooks and things.
They have coilovers for your JCW Clubman.
Boom. And they have coilovers for your JCW Clubman. If you're looking for go-fast parts, outmotoring.com's got you covered. If you're just looking to keep your Mini on the road maintained, clean on the inside and out, outmotoring.com got you covered. You're going to a Mini event and you want to make sure you've got the latest in Mini gear for your person. Oh, outmotoring.com's got you covered there with all the shirts, hats, shoes, watches, things that you need. Plus key fobs, all the little accessories. Not everything's $1 million. You got like a lot of really great deals on a lot of cool stuff. Click over there and find out what it all is. Also, keep an eye on motoringfile.com because our good man Aaron is going to be putting up a post. It's a sponsored post, of course, but he's going to be putting up good, nice posts over at motoringfile.com once a month. There's one there now. I'll link it up in the show notes. Be sure you check it out. And he's also, with this one, he put a coupon code in the post. You just got to go read it.
And don't tell everybody.
Don't tell everybody that one, though. Oh, wait. Oops. Anyway, that's our friends over at Outmotoring. Outmotoring.com. Don't forget about them. They never forget about you. One of the longest sponsors here underneath the White Roof. And, of course, OG sponsor at motoringfile.com as well. We love these guys, and you do too. Go check them out. That's Outmotoring. Outmotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and carbon fiber door trim sets. Oh, that's pretty badass. We're at outmotoring.com. And I'm just because...
I'm always amazed that you're able to come up with that on the fly.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Gabe. That's how I roll. I've been doing this for a long time, Gabe. I'm
always nervous. And then you pull it off every time.
Why are you always nervous?
I don't know.
That's an easy thing to do, and because it helps that we like outmotoring. So
that's true.
Piece cake. How about some news music? Just because that's what we do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's actually a bunch of interesting news. I think. Do you mind if I start with?
No, Gabe, please, by all means, really quick before you start. I don't know, and I'm sure they've been posted on Motoring File, and it's been a while since they went up. But there's one of my guys I'm following on Instagram's in Spain this week, at the F56 launch for the refresh, for the LCI refresh, and got some pictures of the cars with the new orange and the new body changes live and in person. It actually looks pretty nice.
Yeah, the U.S. wasn't really part of that because the major changes aren't not really big enough.
Right. I get that.
For us in the United States to really care about, because we don't get the DCT, we don't get any of that stuff.
Right.
So not necessarily.
But the new orange looks
cool.
The new orange looks hot.
New orange is finally the first good orange.
Yes.
So let's talk about mini USA sales really quick.
Sure.
Do you mind, DB?
No.
So
we haven't talked about sales in a while, and it'll be nice that Todd's not here because Todd gets really angry when we talk about.
I know he does. So while he's not here, let's talk about this. Mini USA sales up 42% for last February.
That's not bad.
A pretty ridiculous number. A lot of that was due to the fact that the Countryman was not really available last year. It is available now.
Right.
But also they saw some decent sales elsewhere. So it was a good year good month for Mini in USA specifically.
Yeah, it's about time to see
Mini as a whole.
About time to see that number come around.
Yeah, Mini as a whole, globally was up 11% the last month. So
huge.
Definitely some good movement there. But I do want to point out a couple things on Motor File that I think are potentially interesting for folks. So I finally got my Mini Countryman hybrid review up. The Mini hybrid, the Mini Countryman hybrid. You know, Chad, I'm kind of fascinated to hear what you think of this car because it's a really complex thing. You know, it's got two drivetrains. It's got a Cooper engine in the front, driving the front wheels, front tires, and it's got an electric engine in the back, driving the rear wheels. So it is an all-wheel drive vehicle, but in a sense, it's two vehicles in one. Pretty interesting, and it works shockingly well together.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Gabe, is that a car that you enjoyed? Because I think we talked about it before you got it, and you weren't really sure if that was something you were going to like driving or not. Yeah,
I mean, it's heavy. You know, here's the thing: it's heavy. You can't it only comes in automatic, obviously. There's no paddle shifters. It's you realize pretty quickly this is a car that is not designed to be pushed hard. It's a car that's designed to commute, drive back and forth. Sure. And for that, it may be the perfect daily driver for a lot of people. I mean, you think about it.
Did you get the chance to do daily driver? Did you have this for more than a day or more than a week?
No, I had it for a week.
Nice. So you're able to haul around the family with it and all that jazz?
Yeah, and basically you throw it on a charger. Yep. You get about 15 miles. I was seeing about 15 miles of electricity per charge. Nothing crazy. That's the big problem with it. 15 is enough for you to get to work and plug it back in again. Right. You know, and then and then get back home. And so it's that's the problem. That said, the mileage I got, not as high as some people were seeing. I think I set it in there 30, maybe 34 on average.
Which honestly is not bad considering you've got 2 tons of car.
And I pushed it hard.
Right.
And so that's most people are seeing right now with their Countryman 22.
Wow. Okay.
In the city, in hardcore city driving. So it was sizable in terms of the difference.
Yeah. Nice. That's. I don't know, 34.
Chad, what were you gonna say? What are you thinking?
I'm just going to play a little bit of devil's advocate here because this is something that I deal with in a day-to-day scenario. Is okay. This car is all good and fine, and it does everything that you want it to, and it is a good commuter, and it gets decent gas mileage, but what about the backbone of what Mini has done as far as the UifiCations and stuff? Because every single person that walks into my store is like, hey, I got this brand new 2018 JCW. How can I make it faster? I was like, well, no, there isn't anything to. Well, why not? Well, because you bought the fastest car you could, and obviously there's nothing you can do as far as electric motor, but I'm wondering if Mini is getting away from some of the UifiCation that they had that was back in the day, and then now they're coming out with a fine car, but not necessarily what they started with. I
think I think they would argue that you could UIfy pretty much everything on this car. Now,
Well, as far
Except
as
for-
stickers, yes.
Except for
well,
speed.
I mean, you could put on except for anything in the drivetrain, and part of the problem is this shit's so complex now.
Right.
Well, I agree with
two
that.
engines. It's pretty wild. I think that they do have the JCW kit for the Cooper S for people who want to go that route. You could do coilovers. I mean, there's a lot of the JCW Pro suspension. The exhaust. So I think that they're looking at this car and they're saying, listen, if you're buying this car, we don't have any performance parts for this car because you fall into the demographic that says I want an efficient hybrid.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably a safe bet for somebody who wants a performance hybrid. As cool as that sounds, you're probably SOL with this car.
Well, right. I get that. But do the customers get that?
Yeah,
and I'm wondering if they're selling
but-
it to those people.
Nah, Chad, I don't think the gearheads are buying. They're not looking at Priuses. They're not looking at anything hybrid at all.
Would you? How about
at least not for modification purposes because it's a
Clubman.
hybrid. Well,
How about the Clubman?
what about it?
Yeah, so the
Is
Clubman's
that a
interesting.
performance car?
Yeah, I think it is. And Chad, here's my I'm going to move on to the next Motorfall story. So Clubman, JCW Clubman versus the F56.
Which
JCW
Gabe
at
got
the
that?
track.
You got to do that out at Thermal, right?
Yeah, I did back to back to back. And so Chad, you bring up a really good point. So the Clubman, and I drive this thing every day, I think is an exceptional car at the track.
Here we go.
Here's what it needs.
This is going to be the new drinking game.
It needs a different suspension,
Mm-hmm.
which the JCW F56 has. You can get the JCW Pro suspension. Well, many basically says, listen, we love you for buying this Clubman, but we don't think there's going to be enough of you that are going to want the suspension on the JCW, so we're not going to even offer it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that they do already kind of restrict some of those aftermarket accessories on these cars that just don't like the Countryman. They're not going to offer it on the Countryman either.
Right.
So it is kind of a shame. I think that was one of the things driving those cars back to back to back. It was very clear the JCW F56 was miles ahead of the Clubman in terms of just composure. Well, I didn't say composure, but the suspension helped turn in a great deal, and the Clubman just doesn't even have it. However, as I mentioned earlier, Motoring does have it. And
Right.
all seriousness, not that I'm bringing them up for no reason. I actually did look into that after the drive because I was curious, who offers coilovers for this car? Because it would be amazing
Right.
with coilovers.
It'd be huge.
Yeah, and I think the other
Everybody
thing
does that. But I mean, I've had 2 people this week walk into my shop and be like, "How can I make it faster?"
No, but you can't make
And
the JCW faster.
You
That's
should
what
be
those.
able to. You should be able to tune
Well, I
it
mean-
fairly easily.
There is ECU tuning, but I also then have to give them the spiel of, well, hey, just so you know, this isn't covered under warranty, and they're like, oh, what's covered under warranty? It's like, well, nothing.
Nothing.
Just
Yeah, no,
so you
nothing.
know.
You're right.
But that's
And-
not a problem specific to the Mini though, Chad. That's a problem anybody's going to have. It doesn't matter if they bought a top of the line Mustang or Camaro or even a Honda
lot
or
of
a Ford
Mustang cars
Focus.
out there.
There are a lot of Mustang parts out there, but if you buy the fastest one from the factory, you're not going to get much more out of it. And still, unless you want to break the warranty.
Yeah, but
start
those
bolting on
cars are
higher-
also like 500 to 600 horsepower from the factory.
Right.
And they're just going to roast the tires off where the Mini's only 2-ish.
Sure, but the problem, and I've heard people talking about this, and they say, "Oh, Mini's a piece of junk because it only has 200 horsepower." And there's people that buy the car anyway, thinking that they can make it a 400 horsepower beast, and you just can't do that out of 1.8 liters or 2 liters, not without some serious modifications.
You can, but
Serious
I was gonna say
modifications.
that. Yeah, you can. You can. It's possible, but
Yeah,
things get pretty gnarly quick. I would say that it's not about speed necessarily with these cars. It's about quickness, and I think that's one area that the JCW Clubman in particular could be a lot better at. And you do need more power to get that quickness. I think you need a lighter flywheel. I've been saying that forever with these 2-liter engines. They just don't rev quick enough. They don't feel as responsive at times. But all that said, I think that both these cars on the track were phenomenal. They're the best Minis I've ever felt on a track ever. The
Nice.
F56 with the JCW Pro suspension in particular was incredible. I mean, the thing had, it was darty, it was crazy, it was a Mini on the track. It wasn't
Nice.
necessarily entirely confident, but man, it turned in, it gripped. It was great, and the Clubman was more confident. It was It was surprisingly neutral in the corners. Just all really surprising, like and solid in terms of how it performed.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I then grabbed the keys to an M5 and drove that right after.
Gabe.
Subsequently, found both minis to be rather slow. But you can read about that at Bimmerfile.
And then, of course, you also got the chance to tool around the campus with a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, I did. It was a full-on, BMW group event. So I figured, listen, after the Mini, where else do you go? You go to the Rolls.
Well, yeah.
This is the new Rolls-Royce Phantom. It's a car that is it is every type of adjective you could throw at it. It is opulent. It is serene. It is just incredible in a lot of respects.
Mm-hmm.
So well thought out. It makes you, like, after when you sit in it for a while, especially in the back seats, you start to realize, like, this isn't like opulent or over the top. It's just smart.
Oh, really?
Like, why shouldn't there be an umbrella in the door?
Right. That's one of my favorite features of a Rolls. Yeah.
Why not? Why shouldn't there be a button back there that lets me just push it and it closes and opens the back door?
Oh.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Why do I need to use my hand to open it? Like, I mean, seriously, like, we have smartphones that do amazing things. Why shouldn't our cars just simply have a button that opens the door?
Sure. That makes sense to me.
Well, so anyway, no, but the Phantom was amazing. As I mentioned on Black Roof, there's one shared part that I could find between
there's got to be something else, Gabe. There's got to be something
base
else.
model Mini and the Phantom. That one part is the little blanking plate that is used in the I call it a cigarette lighter. I don't know what you call it, but basically
it's a power port.
The auxiliary power port. The one in the Phantom is actually a frosted translucent. The one in the Mini, of course, is frosted black, but otherwise identical part.
Identical. I wonder if
That's the only thing I could find. That's the only thing I could find that was the same.
And Gabe, just on the off chance,
has hundreds and hundreds of pounds of sound deadening in it. That Phantom.
On the off chance,
sound deadening in that car probably weighs more than the engine in the Mini.
Gabe, on the off chance that one of the fine White Roof Radio listeners or Motoring File readers who happen to be listening to the show would actually like to purchase one of these new Rolls-Royce Phantoms, what's a going rate for that car? Do you know?
Well, it really depends on.
I mean, I know it's gonna if you get Apple CarPlay or not, it's gonna make a huge difference in the price, but.
It's true. Well, it's an annual subscription, actually.
Yeah, right.
I think I think it really depends on how you spec it. I mean,
sure.
The car starts at about $420,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
So it starts, but it quickly escalates from there.
Sure.
The curb weight is over 5,600, by the way.
Oh my God!
In case you're wondering,
it's 2.5 tons and change. Jeez, that's heavy.
Yeah, it's a big car.
Yeah.
There's a photo on I think it was on Bimmerfile's Instagram that shows the 7 Series, brand new 7 Series next to the Phantom, and it makes the 7 Series look like a Honda Civic. I mean, it's gigantic. Like it's a monster of a car, but it's quick. I mean, it's a full second faster than a Mini, a Cooper S.
That's amazing to me.
By a wide margin, actually. It's like 5.1. I think Cooper has 6.3 or 4 or something like that. It's with 5,600 horsepower, but you never feel it. You barely ever hear the engine.
And you never feel it. Just really, it just hums along.
Yeah, it's great. There's no tachometer. There's just like a power reserve dial. It's amazing. So no, it's an incredible car, and it was interesting to drive it just to get a sense of how far can a car company take something.
Right.
Same car company that sells a $22,000 Mini, which is a great entry level car in a lot of respects.
I wonder if they.
What if you multiply that by 20? What would you get?
Yeah, I wonder if they expect many Mini Cooper owners to upgrade to a Rolls Royce.
I would expect there are probably some Rolls Royce owners that have a Mini for like around town. I would bet that there are.
Probably. Probably. And the Phantom, as it turns out, is available in a regular version and an extended wheelbase version as well.
Yeah, I only drove the regular version. The extended wheelbase version it was a little garish.
Just a little? Oh my God,
just a little bit.
That thing's huge. I'm looking at a picture of it right now on the Rolls-Royce Motor Cars website, and the extended wheelbase version of this car. Well, first of all, it's got suicide doors in the back, as you would expect, but it's insane looking.
I mean, everything about it is insane. Like a touch of a button, and the behind the rear seat, the little like tray folds into a screen.
Of course,
that screen lets you control the iDrive of the driver.
Wow, very cool.
So. Yeah, I had to review it. In fact, I haven't written the review yet, but I thought, let me sit in the back and have the Rolls-Royce PR person drive me around.
Oh, yeah. Why not? Did you make him wear a funny little hat?
She did not. She did not. However, then I asked her to leave, and then I just took it out myself. Because I think over 50% of Rolls-Royce owners actually do take the wheel, as they say.
Oh, nice. Nice. And in case anybody's wondering,
review forthcoming.
Oh, that'll be fun to read. And in case anybody's wondering, there is no pricing for Rolls-Royce cars at the Rolls-Royce website. You actually have to go see about that.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Right. Excellent. And Gabe, what else you got going on? Anything else?
So,
I know we got a lot of JCW racing happening at Sebring and whatnot. But what else you got?
Finally reviewed the latest BMW i3.
Okay.
This is a car that I think many fans are going to be probably aware of, and they will be more aware of soon as that drivetrain is actually going to be leveraged for the new Mini electric hatch.
Right. Okay.
For the most part. So take a look at that. It was interesting. I tested it in a way that you wouldn't necessarily normally test an electric car, which is a road trip.
Right.
Not especially one with 120-mile range. So read it to see if, I won't give away the ending, but it was close.
Nice.
But it was a great car. It's a fun car. I actually had a chance to drive the new i3S, which, again, review forthcoming at the Autocross. Did that right before the Mini at this BMW event. And it was, I got to tell you, it was fantastic. I mean, the regular i3 is a riot at the Autocross, but the i3S is even more so.
Wow, that's funny to hear. And I like the idea of the i3. I really do. I just can't get over the appearance. I can't get over the shape or the look, even with the new one. I just can't get over it. It just looks, I don't know, weird to me.
Yeah, it's very functionally driven. We'll say that. I love it because it's functionally driven and it's weird and it's funky and. I just can't believe they made a car like that.
Right.
They'll never make another one like that. Put it that way.
No. And this is a car you can usually get for a song when you're looking at like used cars too. Because electric cars don't hold their value very well. Depreciation is really bad on the electric cars.
Yeah, it's intense. It's
very intense. Which is a little bit sad. Just a little bit sad. Okay. Cool. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. The only other thing is the Mini JCW team did win Sebring, which was a big win. The
huge win.
The actual class they race in was about 10 to 12 teams last year.
Right.
The first two races, and it seems like it's partially because some changes within the class, but also partially because some teams haven't got their SIJ. Can I say shit?
Sure.
Can I say that?
Yeah. We're allowing that.
Okay, haven't got their shit together. So there's only 3 teams racing. So there's a Porsche, BMW, and Mini team. Right. But that said, Mini did beat the other 2 teams in this race pretty handily.
Huge.
So congrats to those guys.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That is all you got from me.
That is huge. All of that available, plus more at motoringforall.com. Go check it out. Links to all these stores will be in the show notes, by the way, guys. Just, in case you're curious, just tap the little icon in your podcast player and they'll be all right there. Go nuts. Let's move on, though. Just because. And it was nice to go through, not to say anything bad about my brother, of course, but it was nice to go through sales in such a civilized manner.
I know. I miss the...
Yeah, when Todd's back next time, we'll make sure we'll cover sales again. He's gonna say how much you were wrong, Gabe.
I'm sure. So with that, I have to say, unfortunately, I have to duck out.
All right, very cool. Well, Gabe, thanks for joining us tonight. We do appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir.
Always a pleasure.
All right, we'll catch you next time. Thanks.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Okay, and Gabe's gone, which means we can start talking trash about Gabe again. Cool. All right. That's nice to get Gabe. Of course, motoringfile.com. Gang, you guys know this already. Go check it out. And like I did say, all new links to all the stores will be in the show notes. Let's move on, though. Chad and I were talking in Black Roof Radio about his extreme disappointment of the N14 motor in the first generation R56 cars and how much work he's having to do on them of late. And for those of you who are wondering what that motor is, and you might have one in your Mini, if you have a 2007 to 2012 Mini Cooper S, Chad, is that correct?
Well, 7 to 10.
7 to 10. If that's your Mini, then you've got this motor, the N14 motor. This is the one that everybody hates. This is the one that got all the bad reviews. This is the one that really has affected Mini in the most negative way possible. Mostly the S motor, not so much on the Cooper motor, the non-turbocharged, the normally aspirated motor. Mostly the S motor. There's been a lot of niggling issues with this car, I'd say. Chad, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. I mean, we see a few Coopers here and there. I mean, it's not immune to it. I mean, if you follow the dealer recommended oil service on any of these cars, you will have an issue. But, the N14 is by far just one of these cars that we're getting calls once a week and be like, my timing chain is rattling. I need to get in this week to get this fixed right now. And we're going through timing chain kits and, as fast as we can. And it's disappointing because a lot of these people still owe a huge car note on these cars because they bought them second, third hand. And we're trying to, take the blows as best we can, but it's disappointing. And I really wish that, Mini is stepping up a little bit to do some help for some people in certain years, because there are letters now coming out for turbos on the N18s and various things, but yet the N14 owners are kind of, we'll just forget about that car. It's a little swept under the rug.
And that's the car that had all the problems with the turbo. Was the N14 motor.
I think all of them had problems with the turbo as far as that goes. I mean, the turbo itself is the same, but if you don't have oil in the car, you have problems with the turbo. Right. That kind of all comes back down to this oil consumption problem, and it's lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, and it's just disheartening. We're trying to fix these cars as fast as we can, and while this isn't an N14 car, I bought a Mini for $35 last week.
Was it the gray one?
Yeah, it was. Well, it was a silver one, but I just told the owners, like, look, it's not worth fixing this car. Like, I don't want to give you $100 for it because it's full of water and there's a transmission and clutch issue. There's only so much I can, even sell off this car. I almost don't even want to hear, but I don't want you to have to tow it back across the state because you're just going to keep dumping hundreds of dollars into each thing. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I'll waive the diagnostic and I'll do this and I'll do that and I'll give you basically $100 for the car. So I gave him $35 cash, and he gave me a 6-pack of beer in the end. So I keep looking at it like I bought a car for $35 worth of beer, right? Because I went to the car for the most simplest of simple things, and I was like, okay, this car's got to have it. It'll save me a couple bucks. I won't have to buy this one little part. And I look and I was like, oh, it's not there.
It doesn't have it.
Oh well. I got a really good $35 pack of beer. So I had to buy a $35 sensor that I needed. So
Chad,
it's been kind of funny.
What are the big issues you're seeing with that first generation R56 car? The timing chain, of course.
Timing chain, the water turbo pumps, thermostats,
water pumps, and plastic thermostat. Didn't they change that?
They did.
Isn't there somebody aftermarket
cars,
who's making either aluminum or metal thermostat now?
Nobody. Well, not the thermostat. The thermostat is still plastic for everything that I know of, but the water pump has been changed to an aluminum.
Right. That's what it was.
So that has been good. I know that one of the things I'm starting to recommend to all of my customers is, okay, you have a thermostat issue today. I know that it's leaking. You can see that it's leaking. It's down on coolant.
Right.
Within the next 6 months, you're going to have to replace this water pump because the water pump has been starved of coolant. It's not been lubricated correctly, and it's going to start leaking now. Right. Especially now that it's up to right pressure. So I'm telling everyone, it's like, look, I will do just the thermostat if you want, but I highly recommend, if you don't want to have to come back again and do more coolant and everything, let's do the water pump and the thermostat together
at the same time,
because now the cooling system is kind of pretty much solid for the most part. Everything that could leak is going to get fixed. You won't have an issue. So it's kind of one of those things along the lines with oil kits and stuff. It's like, okay, we're doing this turbo oil line because it's leaking. You want to do this gasket and all of these things because all of these items are going to fail within the next 6 weeks after I replace this one piece, or you're putting in a turbo, so let's do this, this, and this because all of these things are together. We're doing a clutch, let's put controlling bushings in.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense to group these services together.
Right. So we've been doing a lot of that type of stuff that has been very disheartening to a lot of customers because they come in and it's not like, hey, you need a thermostat for your R53. It's $35-ish. You got an hour and a half of labor, a little bit of coolant. And everyone's like, okay, thermostat, $200, we're okay, no problem.
Right.
But for the R56, the N14s, it's like, okay, well, you need this and this and this, and you got two parts at $250 a piece. You've got coolant, you've got labor, and the labor is kind of separate because one's on one side of the engine, the other one's on the other side of the engine. And by the way, you need a belt while we're here. What kind of other maintenance have you gotten? Oh, there's no oil in the car, and you should probably put spark plugs in because you're at 80,000 miles. Now you're at $3,000.
Right.
I'm exaggerating a little bit, but there is that thing, and everyone's like, oh God, $3,000. The car's, what am I supposed to do? Right. And I owe $4,000 on the car. And it's like, well, yeah.
Yeah, that's just rough. I had that problem. Well, not that problem, but I had I had an old car problem with Roxy, which is why I got rid of it. And needed a $1,200 repair, and she was worth like $1,500. I'm just going, well, yeah, okay, gotta let it go. Which that's still a decision that I dread every day. I'm just kick myself every day about making. Yeah,
I mean, if you got a spot to park it and some money to play with and some things like that, I mean, you can keep it and do that stuff, especially if you're doing some labor yourself. But I mean, it can definitely get very expensive. And I've had some people, it's like, well, we don't have any money. It's like, well, this is not the car for you. You need to get out of this car right now and go somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Go look at an F56 or, start poking around the R50, R53 market. There's a ton of cars out there. I want to talk more about that on a future show, but there are a ton of really low mile 2006 R53s.
R53s for as low as $3,900 right now, and I'm like, wow, there's got to be something wrong with that car because it's been in an accident or something. Yeah. There's a reason that car is at $3,900 because most of those cars that are still going for a really good price are 6, 7, and I've seen 8. And I've seen 8. There's a guy who just ran out right now in a super clean car, pretty decent miles. He's asking 95, and that's a little on the high side.
That's a little on the high side. Our man John in Philly shared one with me on Facebook the other day, and I think it was like 8,500, and it had, I don't know, 40,000 miles on it. Just like that's brand new for 2006. Anyway, that's something we're going to talk about in a future episode coming up very soon. So, and if you are having troubles with your first gen R56 car and you need some work done on it and you live within 3 hours of Chad and DetroitTuned.com, well, just go see him. Him and Marzo will get you taken care of. DetroitTuned.com. Don't forget, please. Thank you. And if you need a spare, go over to Detroit Tuned. If you had a spare and you need a cool spare cover, go over to Detroit Tuned. Chad's mom sews them up with her teeth. Not really.
Yeah.
They're very nice. They're very
kind of something like that. Mom loves coming in. She gets a kick out of both parents are kind of semi-retired, but they're both there. My dad's in daily, but my mom comes in once a week, and we're just such a big family there that everybody loves. Everyone calls her Mama Miller, and
that's nice.
It's a lot of fun. We have a good time there.
That's really nice. I like that. Very cool. Let's almost be finished up here. I want to remind you guys about one of the other fine sponsors here underneath the white roof. Our boys over at Craven Speed. They're just blowing up over there at cravenspeed.com. Why don't you go check them out? Not just for mini stuff, but other cars and makes as well. Click over there, click the Browse by Make button. There's a good chance that there's parts there for another car that you have in your driveway or your garage. And those all kind of things. If you've got the Mini, of course, you're going over Craven Speed because you need a dipstick that you can read. If you've got a car with a dipstick, so an R56, any of the R cars, you need a cool way to hold your cell phone when you're driving your Mini. You're going to go over Craven Speed, get the best mount you can get. The Platypus license plate mount, so you don't have to drill holes in your bumper for your license plate. The short shifter, which is amazing. The crank pulley, the supercharger pulley, the gauge pod mounts, all kinds of stuff. I want you to go over and check it all out. cravenspeed.com. They're doing free domestic shipping right now. There's a little banner at the top of the page. So if you place your order in so much time, your order's going to be tell you when your order's going to ship. They're doing it for free. Awesome. Gotta love these guys. They make all their stuff themselves too. This is not like stuff out of a big shipping container coming from China. This is stuff that they design and build and make and do 3D printed models, and then they take a foosball break and come back and then they cast them out and start making them. They're amazing pieces of art, and you get to actually install them on your car. Very cool stuff. Also, Craven Speed, one of the original OG sponsors here underneath the white roof, and motoringfile.com as well. We really love these guys, and I think you guys do too. Just in case, if you're over there and you're going to place an order with them, the hot tip is make sure you leave a comment on the order form. It says, thanks for supporting White Roof Radio. We really appreciate that. So do they. They, of course, are friends over at Craven Speed, cravenspeed.com. Please. All right. You know what, Chad? I went and saw my folks this last week.
Yeah.
And Mom's got a new car. Mom started off, when I bought Roxy in 2003, shortly thereafter, Mom bought a PT Cruiser. And she loved that car. She just loved it to death.
Well, it gave her, fun, free mobility, kind of fun.
It was good looking because this is before the PT turned out, being they were given away when you open up a checking account at the bank. So she had the fancy version with the leather seats, and it had the nice pearl white paint job, and it could carry a ton of stuff on the inside, and the dog and all the things. And her and my dad, they just loved that car, and they'd still be driving it if it didn't need air conditioning. Anyway, from there she moved on to the Chevy Equinox. And she had a I don't even remember what year it was. I think it was 2013 Equinox, which she liked as well. It was a pretty nice car, but it didn't have rear air. And Mom and Dad live out in the middle of the desert in Arizona, and Mom always ends up pulling the back seat duty whenever they go out with friends. And she told Dad, she's like, I am not going to ride in the back seat for another summer without air conditioning. So they went and they got the new 2018 Equinox with everything. This is like the fully loaded version, and OMG, this car was amazing. For a big giant SUV. Well, big giant to me. It's a small SUV, but this car is amazing. Has all the safety, has all the tech, has all the things. And I think it's a good looking car, but that's just me. And it even gets up and goes. It's got the turbocharged 2.5 liter 4-cylinder in it. That thing, it's got some boogie to it. But the one thing I want to talk about with this, and Gabe mentioned a couple shows back, that he's convinced that there is no such thing as a decent Apple CarPlay implementation. And I keep always throwing out Chevy as having a good implementation because I had it in a Chevy Malibu rental. And in Mom's car, it was perfect. You plug in, you select Apple CarPlay, you're in CarPlay mode, and it worked flawlessly. Everything worked exactly as supposed to. It was speedy. It was fast. The touchscreen was really responsive. Siri worked great. The turn-by-turn navigation worked great. I put Google Maps on. It doesn't show up on the screen, but you still got the audio. Worked great. When you're done, you hit the home button and you're back to the regular screen, so you can go to your Sirius and listen to Fox News or whatever it is you have to do. I think it's one of the best implementations of CarPlay out there. Now, I haven't seen the Mini implementation yet. I'm hoping to do that soon, but I think this was brilliant.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of really good CarPlays out there. My girlfriend's got the CarPlay in, and I have just my iPod hooked up to it, and I can be playing a song all via Bluetooth. It's in my coat. I'm not touching it. I turn the car off. It pauses it. I go in. I do my business. I come back into the car, start the car up. I don't have to touch my coat. Instantly, that song is playing again. Yeah. And I don't have to do a single thing. So it's like, you know what? That's perfect. It's like the CD is just in there, and I don't have to touch it at all.
Yeah, that is.
And I know she's she's had a lot of luck with her Bluetooth. She's got her phone hooked up to it and stuff like that. So it really has integrated this car as far as the tech goes with a lot of things that she's got going on. And, as we're getting more tech savvy and stuff, we just put a new little tiny radio, and it's a cheap radio in our 89 Volkswagen. And
Nice.
it also connects to my
Bluetooth?
iPod. It connects. Yeah, it's all Bluetooth.
Nice.
It connects to my phone, her phone, everything. It's got the hands free. It's got everything it wants to do. And we spent $222 in speakers, wires, a head unit, and a couple of other little whatever's an antenna, because the thing didn't have an antenna. Now we get radio again. So it's like, for that amount of money, I mean, it's basically CarPlay.
Yeah.
In a, it's already got Pandora.
It's not really, it doesn't have the stuff on
Sirius
the screen,
radio.
but yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, it's got all of that stuff preloaded in there. You got subscriptions, and boom, you're done. You don't have to do anything. So it's like, it could be really easy for Mini to make this work really well on these cars. And personally, I haven't seen it happen yet.
Yeah,
And
well,
I
haven't seen it in a Mini yet. So Brian says it works pretty good. Gabe says it works okay. And Todd's kind of looked at it, and he just doesn't seem to really care that much. So we're going to follow up on that as well, I think. I wish I had it. I wish I had it in my car. I just get Bluetooth in my car. I mean, I get Bluetooth audio, which is nice, but I wish I could do the stuff on the screen beyond Mini Connected, because I think Mini Connected is just junk. But that's
it's not perfect, and that's people that get these things like, oh, it's so great, it's all this. But it's not updatable. And people ask me for new maps. I'm like, yeah, I can get you a new map. It's $250 to $450 somewhere in there. And they're like, oh God, I was thinking like $35. I'm like, no, you'll never get a $35 map.
$35 map, yeah, right.
BMW, and they're like, well, I've got my Garmin and it does it for free. And I was like, yep.
There you go.
But it's what you got to do. And I got a mount for you from cravenspeed.com, so see how it all ties in together?
Tad, you are the master of tying things together.
Yeah. That's me tonight, tying things together.
That's right. And there's our show title right there. Tying things together. Pardon the typo.
I'd say the show picture should be the picture of my desk, but that may not be.
No, we're not going to
fly.
No, that's inappropriate. Not really inappropriate, but just for those who are wondering what the picture of Chad's desk actually looks like, it's covered in just junk and stuff, and ladies' parts and purses and zipper bags. I think there's a phone in there. I see makeup accoutrement. I think there's some kind of a coffee mug in there. There's an inflatable penguin off in the corner, which I really don't want to know what that's about. I think some fast food bags and wrappers.
No. It's not dirty. It's just stuff.
Yeah, it just got a lot of stuff on it. That's not going to be this week's show picture. I'll figure something else a little bit better than that, Chad.
We have a wrap car. There's lots of
Oh, the wrap car. That's the last thing I wanted to talk about, actually, Chad. So you've got the Mini that you're doing all the work on. You're taking that to a show, right? Yeah,
we're supposed to be at Water by the Bridge this Sunday. So by the time you're hearing this, we'll have made it, hopefully, and we'll see what happens. But our plan is to hit a bunch of shows this year, kind of all over the Eastern Midwesty kind of feel,
Right.
Wisconsin, Indiana, Kentucky, maybe PA, New York,
nice.
maybe New Jersey even. I mean, we'll see how far we want to get. But we're looking for the bigger shows, the stuff that, we can go meet customers and kind of see, and we're going to bring a car or two out and kind of feel what's going on. And obviously the Dragon's going to be huge this year. We're bringing out all the people and all the stops, and we're going to have vendor lane all locked up with cars and just kind of trying to get us to that next level of notoriety, so that people are tagging us in the proper things and seeing what's going on with us. And I've always tried to not post too much. I don't want to annoy people. I don't want to be in their feed all the time and be like, I don't want to see this, and just leave or block us or whatever. So I've always tried, that twice a week post, and I've been posting now pretty much daily for most of the month. It kind of feels like, and the subscribers have increased. The looks, the views, the the sales, all of that type of stuff. So we're trying to do everything we can to keep people interested and make ourselves relevant, as well as bring out new hot things and showcase the things that we're capable of, whether it's full on race cars or
wrapping an R53 in atomic teal,
doing fancy show stuff. Yeah, I mean, and the atomic teal has been an ongoing project for 3 years, and then I was like, okay, how do we work this all back into the car and stuff like that? So
Chad, just to sidetrack you a little bit, let's talk just a little bit about the R53, the one that you wrapped in atomic teal. First of all, it's a brilliant color. Yep. I've seen that before. Jerry did Eurotex. He did that kind of very similar color to his. But it looks a little bit more. It's a little bit lighter than the atomic teal. But besides that hot wrap, which makes it look just badass and bitchin', you're putting airbags on this car?
Yeah, it's got a full airlift performance suspension under it.
Nice.
It's got the full 3P kit, 3H kit, sorry. So it'll have height sensors that sees where it is. So when you're in a corner a little bit harder, because obviously the Mini is a corner car, it'll see that and it'll pump air into that bag as fast as it possibly can, which is super quick. And it will know not just the pressure, because that lags a little bit. It will always keep the car as level as possible and things like that. So this weekend we did. We're running out of time. We may end up going with a blue rear bumper because I'm running out of time. But the sensors are going to be in before the Dragon, obviously, because we need those for all of the corners on the Dragon. But we're going to roll this weekend with just air and, try to get it as low as possible. Our wheels got lost in shipping somewhere. They're on a dock in California, and they're not going to be here in time. So Mike Marzo lent us his wheels for the weekend and everything. So it's been a labor, because this is a car that I own and I've wanted to do something different. Everyone, kept joking that I was going to gut it and put a cage in it again and all. I got a race car. I don't need two.
Nice.
This car is going to have a full interior. It's got the lapis blue leather, which I just love. And, there's a few reasons I decided to wrap it. I wanted to be something a little brighter, a little different, a little nicer color, something, out of the norm of what I've got. But it also needed to kind of have a theme and kind of be able to play the company up and showcase something new, something.
Yeah, I like it. Very cool.
We just posted a video last week about this, and we've people maybe don't notice this, but we bring a new car to the Dragon every year, and it's a different theme of how this car is put together. And we've been doing this now 8 years, give or take.
That's huge. Taking a different car to the Dragon every year, the van doesn't count in that equation.
Oh, right, exactly. I mean, it's we've always done different things to my car, but we did Josh Hammond's convertible and the matte blue paint job. We've done some other various show cars in those years of different aspects of how we've created a different show car or a different customer's car that we're bringing down to the Dragon to showcase this year for him or delivering there even. And, so it's kind of cool this year. This car will be there and it'll be, totally aired out and as low as we possibly can go. And hopefully we'll have its correct wheels on. And
very cool.
It's been fun.
Can't wait to see it. So Chad mentioned Maze on the Dragons. We're going to go ahead and pretty much put a stop here. We're going to tell you guys about some events really quick. Just a quick reminder, Minis on the Dragon is coming up this year. It is May 2nd through May the 6th. I want you guys to know that registration will close on April 19th, so that's only a couple weeks away. Shirt and grill badge orders close on April 1st. So by the time you guys are hearing this, you only have a couple days left to go over there and make sure you get those ordered so that you get the cool stuff for Minis on the Dragon. Again, that's happening this year, 2018, May 2nd through May 6th. If you haven't been, it's an event worth checking out. And if you have been, well, be nice to the new people. Another event I wanted to remind you guys at, if you're not on the East Coast, you're on the West Coast. Don't forget about Southwest Mini Fest coming up this year, May 10th through the 13th. That is this year's AmViv. So, they do AmViv, then they do Southwest Mini Fest, AmViv, Southwest Mini Fest. This year at Southwest Mini Fest. It's happening this year in San Diego from Thursday, May 10th through Sunday, May 13th. It's going to include a lot of drives. It's going to include a winery tour. It's going to include an auto museum tour. A lot of really fun stuff, especially if you want to drive the fantastic roads of eastern San Diego County. I highly recommend checking this out. Southwest Mini Fest, or swminifest.com for more information. Links to all the stuff will be in the show notes. Those are the big events. And, of course, Mini Takes the States. That's happening this year as well. So you're, pretty much got all your choices for all the Mini Cooper events this year.
I was going to plug something here, and I'll see if I can get it as fast as I possibly can. Obviously, there's a lot of pieces that are on Facebook. There's a lot of groups. There's a lot of big clubs, and obviously, I'm sure everybody will bring LXM into their mind group. But one of the new clubs as of lately is like a Mini United, and I'm trying to find the actual group right now.
Oh, you mean a Mini Takes the States group?
No. This is a new group. And I'm pulling up the name right now, and it's basically of people putting everything together to make sure that everybody knows the events in their area.
Ah, yeah, okay? Cool.
And that's kind of a neat idea. National Mini Club Alliance is the new Facebook group, and this is a long-term dragon goer who actually just didn't have a Mini, I don't think, his first year, and then got one, and has been dating a Mini owner for a long time, and he decided that he wanted to take something over and put all of the Mini clubs together. And I can see Philly Minis in there and RVA Minis, and I know the local Detroit Mini Club is in there, and some of those, the Tampa Minis, Metroplex, et cetera, et cetera. And it's designed to be a national spot for all to post their events, so that people in other areas that may not know there are clubs can see these things. And I know Minis on the Dragon had brought it up in that. So if you're a Facebook fan, love it or hate it, it's a good way of socializing with some members. And, I would give a shout out to the National Mini Club Alliance and see what's going on there, and, see what's going on in your area, and subscribe and read up and figure it out.
Well, there you go. Links to that. I just found that group over on Facebook. If you guys want to join it, I'll link it up in the show notes. Very cool stuff, Chad. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And just heard from Brian Dallas. He just got to his hotel, so we're not going to get Brian tonight. He's a little bit too late, so he's SOL tonight. Sorry, Brian. But we're done for the week. I want to remind you guys, too, about motoringstripes.com. That's where you're going to go to get all your MTTS graphics, the door magnets and stickers and whatnot. I want you guys to go over there, get all that. Get that ordered sooner than later. Don't be that guy that shows up at Mini Takes the States and goes, oh, where do you guys get all this stuff? Because, Todd's already sold out. So get over to motoringstripes.com. Get all your MTTS 2018 gear for your Mini. Do it now. And this stuff's approved by Mini, so this is stuff that you want to have for sure. And don't forget the motoringstripes.com, the What Your Radio Motoring Stripes hack, where you use the contact form to ask Chad to make you a sunroof delete kit. He'll charge you $100. He'll send it out. You install it, and your air conditioning will suddenly work so much better. For handy for you. Go ahead, Chad.
And as another plug, we actually might be starting to produce a actual sunroof delete kit for the R56.
Really? Well, we're going to stay tuned for that.
We've got no more sunroof in our roof kit.
Oh, nice.
But
Okay.
if you've been online, you know these things.
Yeah, I'm not paying. I guess I'm not paying close enough attention to Detroit Tune. Anyway, motoringstripes.com because blank is boring, and DetroitTune.com because Chad is awesome. Like I said, if you're within 10 hours driving time to Detroit, you're going to use him as your shop anyway. Go over there, check him out. DetroitTuned.com, also a full service internet website, things to sell and buy for your Mini, make your Mini better, faster, stronger. But that means we are done for the night. Chad, do you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right. Thanks, guys, for listening, as always. If you're still one that's not subscribed, of course, we prefer you to subscribe. It makes it so much easier to get the show. You can subscribe in the Apple Podcast app. You can subscribe in Spotify. You can subscribe a zillion different ways. It's a really handy-dandy way to do it. If you're still listening on the website, either motoringfile.com or whiteroofradio.com, and you want to actually get it automatically to your mobile computing device, click over to the subscribe page at whiteroofradio.com, which should be back up by the time you guys hear this. And all the information is there on how to actually get subscribed with some recommended applications and other things. That's a hot ticket. And if you guys are wondering what this Black Roof Radio is all about, this is our chance to let you help sponsor White Roof Radio. And for that, you get an extra show every time we make a show. We make two shows, actually. One called Black Roof Radio and one called White Roof Radio. Black Roof Radio is a lot of just inside baseball, and us getting the cuss words out. If you're offended by cuss words, clearly this is not the show for you. But for like $1 a show, you get this, and you help support us and work me towards my goal of making podcasting my actual day job, which would be fantastic. Anyway. Go over and check us out, White Roof Radio, patreon.com/White Roof Radio, if you please. But now we are officially done. And so this is a part of the show where I like to make the funny clicking sound, and then I say, questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and click back over to whiteroofradio.com. There you can leave us a note in the show notes. You can also email us, feedback@whiteroofradio.com. But until next time, gang, this is DB. I'm done.
Have a good night, everybody.
Oh, smooth, Chad. I like that. Good.
Stay classy, Detroit.